Okay, so we are finally live after a short delay. So the first thing we're going to do is just set up a new project here in Jamango. So I'm going to go to Jamango, hit create a new world, and I'm going to start with a flat world. We're going to name this Tycoon game. We can change this later, but that will do for now. And then while that's loading, create a new folder here. Open up PowerShell. And I'm going to fail at doing that. I can't remember what it is. I think it's just that. So I need this code here. And I want it in that base folder, so I'm just going to hit enter there and put that in there. So we should see that start to populate. Yeah, here we go. So I've got all my local files here. And I can open Visual Studio Code. Yeah, I do want. Oh, open folder. Tycoon game. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to create a new file here called project overview. .text. Don't know if Jamango will be happy with this. I've never done this before. Looks like it's okay. So we could just scope out some ideas here. So it's going to be a Tycoon game. What do we need? We need stats for the player. So we need to record things like money. I guess we'll make this a dropper. So like droppers, we have active, upgrades, prestiges. We want to put prestiges into this. Kind of doing now. And we're going to store this in a trait. So to do, make this trait. And then we want the ability to save and load this data about the player. We need, I don't know what I'm typing, we need a plot system for players to populate as they spawn in to the game. I think this is a good start for us. And hopefully, I'm just going to check this isn't causing any errors. Definitely connected. Said we're connected. Yeah, we're connected. And so we can get rid of that for now. Why is it not syncing? Oh yeah, there we go. Fine. So I think what we'll do is just populate some folders in here. Sorry, disconnected my mic for a little bit there. Okay, so we've set up some folders which have come through here now. And now I want to start with this player trait. So I'm back here. Traits, new, and we're going to call this, what's it going to be? Player profile trait.ts. And I'm going to save that, and I'm just going to see if it's doing something a little bit weird. Yeah. So see how it's doing this. So it's slightly annoying. It's really easy to fix. We just need to press save, leave the world, and then if we come back here, open the project, get rid of that one. Wait for this to load, and then if we come back in, now if we go into traits, you see it's populating properly now. So, and let's just define what we're going to do here. So, store player data and handle loading and saving and loading. So the first thing I'm going to do is just import everything from Jamango. And we're going to need some constants. The first one we're going to want is a auto save interval. And we're going to say, just for testing, we'll put it at 1 second for now. So how often to auto save? And then the other thing we need, because of how we're going to be setting up the save file, and because what we initially save might change, is we want to set a version. So we want some version control in the saving. So we'll just call it save version. We'll set that to 1. And you'll see this come into play later. And I am actually going to do this properly. So we got our 2 constants there. And then probably going to want to define the data that's going to be in the save file. So we'll just create a type here. Just say player assisted data equals, and then what are we going to want? So we want the version, which will be a number, and we'll say it's a type of autosave interval. Then we want the actual player data. So what did we say we wanted? Oh, why am I coding in here? Got a little bit confused. So let's just copy that, paste it in there. And let's just come out of this a second. Save, and then just come back. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, got the player. And then if we look here, we've got the money. So if we just start with money, so we'll literally call it money, and that's going to be a number. Let's just start with that. We got a type here. Next, let's create a trait. Hey lines. Yes, where were we? So, export const player profile trait equals j dot define trait. Call it player profile. And j dot schema dot object. What do we want in here? We want the version number, which is going to be a j dot schema dot number. Set default value of the save version, and precision is going to be integer. We'll keep everything to integers for now. We can change that at a later date, which we'll probably need to. Then we've got the player object, which is going to be j.schema object. In there, we've got money, which is going to be j.schema.number. Default value of 0. And again, the precision is just going to be integer. Then I think we can leave it at that for now. And okay. Yes, right. We need the metadata. So it's going to be player profile, description, sys data, icon, find a save icon. Why has it gone to Bing? Why is it not liking this? Schema object, new curly braces. Due. That you finished. And then you're finished. No. Yeah. That's closing. Let's work out where we're going wrong. So we got one here. That's that. So we can close that, we can close that. Find tray, and then schema object. Oh, and then we got this player object. That's comma. It's closed. That's closed. What's not closed? Oh my god, why am I failing at this? That's closed. There we go. So, got that. Now, let's set up. So, what do we need to do now? So we need to assign the trait, load the data. So I think what we'll want to do is export function, and we'll call this that. And it's on the server, so let's just put a check to say if a.net.is host. So if we're not the host, just return. We could throw an error. We're not the host. Cancel. If we are, then j.on player join player ID. No. And I think, yeah, we get the persistent data here. So we'll say player persistent. Can't even spell persistent data. Let's call it persistent data. What's it not liking about this? Oh, yeah. So we need to wrap you in curlies. Okay, so now we got the player ID and the persistent data. So I'm going to want to create a function to handle this persistent data. So if we do data equals you can call it load player persistent data. Load the data, which is gonna be load player data is better. So update that. I'm gonna have data as layer. We decide, yeah, this. Data. Function whose clay file is that? Must return. Oh yeah, it's because I haven't returned anything yet. So return true. So what we're doing here, if there's no data. Yeah, we're gonna want to set up some defaults. So data type defaults. Gonna be some of that. Version is gonna be save version, and then player money equals 0. Okay, so if there's no data, we're going to return defaults. Get rid of that. If there is data, through it. Persistent data. JSON serialized. So let's just look at the docs a second. My mouse. Let's have a look here. I forgot I set up that AI chatbot. Okay. So I'm thinking actually, what could be a good idea? Is to parse the data. Because we'll want to yes, let's do that. So we're gonna need 2 functions. No, we won't. We just need 1, 2. So serialize serialize. So function data is going to be our player persistent data. It's going to be data. And then we can say equals save version. And stop player money equals floor it. So money, or it's just going to be 0. Turn us. And deserialize data, display and persistent data. Once data equals JSON dot parse, JSON dot stringify data. Don't need that. Yeah, of course, lines. Mm, yeah, that's done a few lines. And that's just been defined. And turn data. Oh, it's because it's that. New data. Uh, we need this. When we get to it. The load is doing that. Oh yeah, I didn't finish load player data. So, also need a migration. So, data again, it's going to be type up here. So if no dot b equals save version, turn data. Otherwise, migrate the new data. So essentially, if we go to, we got the version 1 here. If we add some fields and then migrate to data, say version 2, we can add those bits here. But for now, I'll just do data.v equals save version and return data. So what we're going to do here is return the serialize migrate data. Okay, it's not like it's having findable. Oh, so need to do a quick sense check. So if there is persistent data, it's not equal undefined. Also, it can be undefined. And then this doesn't like. Oh yeah, because I'm passing this. This is expecting player persistent data. So I need to say you can allow undefined. Player persistent data or undefined. There we go. No. So we've loaded the data. I probably don't want that actually. We always want the data. What we'll then do, because that should return the defaults. So if there's no data here, it'll just return the defaults. So we then want to say j.set trait. Alrighty. Layer profile trait data. Sweet. And then we can debug this. So layer username dot get player username player ID. Okay, dot send chat message. We don't want to do that. We want to do data loaded or player. Let's just give it a go. I don't know why I hit F5. Save. Ah. So in server.ts, we need to import that function. The traits, player profile, trait. It's not working. Why is that not working? Okay, cool. And then should be able to say money equals data dot player dot money. Should say 0. Yeah, cool. Right. Now let's just add join. Never close it. I'll close it. So J on chat. I don't remember how this one works. On chat. I think it's just going to be player ID and message. Again, we'll make sure this only runs on that server if j.net is host. This message equals trim, and then we'll do if message starts with we'll do money split. So amount equals number dot split to a space, and then first in the array, no, or 0. Yes, we should make a little function for handling money amount. So there's data, get setters. So we'll do export function, add money, player ID, amount, and if we're going this route, we should get and set the profile first, actually. So get profile, player ID, what do we want to say? Profile equals j.get trait, player ID, player profile trait. Turn profile. J.entity ID. There we go. Now it's happy. Function set profile. Player ID again as j.entity ID. And going to be passing a profile, which is going to be player persistent data. I think. Hang on. Yes. So this we will guard if not j.net.isHost turn, so we don't want this running on the client. J.set trait player ID player profile trait, and what do I name this? Profile. Seems good to me. Probably need to handle if there is no trait. I'll add that as a to-do. Do that at another point. Then if I come back to here, add money, player ID and amount. J.entity ID. Again, we'll guard this by saying, is it the host? If not, don't do anything. And I guess we should floor the amount. Increase equals math.max 0.math.floor amount. And then profile equals get profile player ID profile.money plus equals increase. Why is it not like that? Profile is possibly null. Because get profile. Yeah. So maybe we need to handle this now, actually. No, in here. So Oh, we could do this really easy, actually. So it's dot player dot money plus increase. And then I'm going to call set profile, player ID, profile. So now if I call this add money, we're getting the player's trait, amending the money, and resetting the player's trait. So we could verify that by once new profile equals get profile player ID. J.send chat message. New money equals new profile dot player dot money. Let's give that a go. Let's see how that's working. Money equals 0. And then if I do money 10. Let's just make sure I'm not doing something weird here. Money equals nan. So what am I calling? I'm calling add money. Ever fired, it seemed. It just hadn't compiled. Increase is nan. Yeah, okay, so I'm doing something weird here. So let's just make sure that's compiled. Money 10. Amount, yeah, so the amount's not coming through correctly. So amount, it's definitely a number. Splitting it, and I'm saying it's the first one, so let's see what's going on there a second. So I wonder why that's not. Interesting. Message.split. Splitting at the space. Dot log message. The full message is going through. For some reason, the amount is getting messed up. One. Let's just check. Always returning nan. Dot split. Oh, hang on, that might not have compiled. Oh yeah, of course it's not going to convert money into a number. I just do console.log and message split message.split space 1. It's not splitting properly. That will be why. Why is it not splitting? There. Oh, there we go. So interesting. Any weird errors? Nope. Oh, very bizarre. Equals number. Why is this even stopped? Console.log message equals message. That's not running at all now. Oh, yeah. One of you was going to tell me, weren't you? Okay. So it's still not liking it. Message.trim. Message starts with money. Just force 200 second. It's interesting. I don't know why I can't get this to work. Seems like that split's not working again. Copy that. Console.log split. Don't need that. Splitting it again. It's really annoying I can't get this to work. Especially that is split. 0, 1. Should be 0 and 1. Dun, dun. Split takes a separator and a limit. Cambodia. Try now. Just not splitting again. What am I doing? Money 100. Oh, that's split properly. Split const. That's not splitting properly. Fine. For now, we'll just make it out 100 and get rid of this nonsense. And we'll work it out later. Cool. Obviously, it resets to 0. So the next thing we could do is actually save the data. So yeah, so we want to save the data. So create save load the data. Create function for this export function. Say save player data. This is just going to take player ID, which is j.entity ID. If j.net.isHost return, if it's not the host, just had a quick console log saving player data. What do we want to do? We just want to get the profile. So I think just do no, not get profile player ID. And then we can say Const serialize equals. No, let's not do that. Assistant to save. Assist data to save equals serialize profile. No, save data. And then j.set player permissions. Persistent data layer ID persist data to save. So, but now we'll just call that here, just so we know that data saves. Okay, so money equals 0. We had 100. It should have saved, and if I reload, money equals 100. So we've got that initial saving of data. That took way longer than expected. But we've built a nice, robust system here. We've got version control on our thing, because if without this version control, if I just added, total earned money as a number, and I just tried doing the same thing here, which is a j.schema.number default. Hang on, what am I doing? Default value equals 0, precision integer, precision integer. Should break. Tried. Default. Get errors. Shouldn't work. So when we serialize the data, so I'm not actually doing it. Let's test it. So if I try and read, what am I looking for? On player join. Total earned data dot player dot total earned money. Yeah, see, it's undefined. So that's the problem we'll have. So it was never set. It's not being set when we load it back in. So what we'd need to do, so when we're checking that data version here, we need to handle this better. But what we need to say is data.player.total earned money equals, 0 or something. And then increment the save version. In total earned is now 0, so it works. So that's the reason we needed to add that. I also need to add a function to completely wipe the saved data. Should be as simple as passing. Just give it a quick go. So now we've sent that back. No, that'll still work. Player ID. Undefined. I don't know if this will work. Oh. Need to actually type wipe. And then if I come back in, yeah, we're back to the start. So that works. So yeah, that's not bad progress for our first stream. I think there's quite a bit that I can build out in terms of just expanding this to where it needs to be for next week, so we can sort of crack on with something a bit more meaty. This just gives us a really good start for handling the player data, which is, for a Tycoon, one of the most important things. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the stream. We'll be back next Monday. I'll be reviewing this, seeing how it went, and seeing what we can improve. But if you've watched, thanks for joining. Take care, guys.